Okay, all right, students, please refer to your percentage homework book, practice 2. Now, this is going to be a long video teaching because I would like to go through question 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'll stop at question 11. So this is practice 2. I will actually skip question 12, but I would like to go through this in detail and some of the steps for you. Let's get started. This is percentage homework book. Okay, Joanne bought 50 goldfish, 60% were female. When some female goldfish died, the percentage of the female goldfish decreased by 30%. So I would like you to highlight this decrease by 30%. And this phrasing, some female goldfish died. In case you still don't know which page, this is page 87, percentage homework book. Okay, take note, some female goldfish died. So there is something that didn't die. So do you know which goldfish didn't die? Yes, the number of male goldfish did not die. So the strategy, as I write, number of male goldfish remains the same. Okay, so with that, I am going to draw out for you to see that actually there is something that remains the same, and that is the male goldfish. Let's say all together is 50 and 60% are male. Sorry, 60% are female. What is left behind are male, that is 40%. So this is something that remains unchanged. Let me highlight for you again. This portion here, the male remains unchanged. So take note, you cannot just say 30% minus, sorry, 60% minus 30%. They come from different base. Okay, when they say some female goldfish died, the base becomes shorter. And when you say the percentage of female goldfish decreased by 30%, this percentage is compared to the number of female goldfish. So you take note, but never mind, we get started first. At least we know that 100% error 50, 1% error 50 divided by 100. Then you get the number of female goldfish first, which is 30. The actual number is 30. You can go and work it out. Then, as for male, you can find out that it's 20. So you see, you already solved part A answer. But when they say the percentage of female goldfish decreased by 30%, means 30% of the female goldfish disappear. They die already, they die. So your new 100% arrow 30. Go and find one. Go and find 30%. Okay, you will see that the number is a single digit because why am I finding 30% only? Because part B is asking how many of the female goldfish died. This is the percentage that the female goldfish died. So please go and write down and work it out. You will get the very nice one-digit number, less than 10. Okay, with that, let's move on to question 5. This is the identification of who is the 100%. So the number of duck eggs collected by a farmer in June was 150. So in July, the number of duck eggs collected decreased to 120. And in August, he collected 160. Find the percentage decrease, increase between July, August. This is a very good question. This is a PSLE question. So in your review too, please don't skip this, or you need to know exactly you are comparing to who. Who are you comparing with? Okay, so I write down first. In part A, if you are comparing June and July, so who is your 100%? Who is your 100%? You're comparing June to July, so you take 150 minus 120, then you go and find out. Then that is your part A answer. Who should be at the denominator? You are right, the 150 should be at the denominator. Then you put your decrease top 30 out of 150 times 100%. Go and find out the answer. You will find quite a nice number in part A. Sometimes in percentage, you don't get a nice number, it's okay. You can have decimal, you can have mixed number, you can have many things. Then, when they say part B, find the percentage increase in the number of eggs collected between July and August. July and August. So, for that, who is your 100% then? You compare August to July. So, you are correct. So, this July here is your 100%. But in the second question, you are required to round to 1 decimal place. So please use your calculator. Punch the number in, then you round to 1 decimal place. All right, now let's move on to question 6. Question 6, the Lincoln question. Lincoln spent $95 of his pocket money every month and saved the rest. This month, he spent only $75 and saved the rest, thereby increasing his monthly savings by 40%. How much was his monthly pocket money? Find the ratio of his spendings to his savings for this month. So what you can see is pocket money, either you save or you spend. There's no such thing as I don't know, because when you say I don't know, it means that you are saving it for the time being before you spend. I draw the model 2 times to show you the difference. Now, the first model, Lincoln actually spent $95. So he spent $95 and he saved the rest. How much, I don't know, but I'm going to highlight out the savings in purple so that you can see clearly. This month, he chose to say that maybe I spend less. I spend maybe $75. And you realize that the savings increase. Originally should be here, now increased by 40%. Okay, so when they say savings increase by 40%, so who is your 100%? Yeah, you are actually comparing to the savings of 100%. So this is the 100%. You increase the saving by 40%. So now you realize that your purple become longer. Your savings become longer, because you expect your savings 100% here right now increase by 40%. So they say part A, how much is the pocket money, meaning everything, spending and saving? Even if you use the top model or the bottom model, you will still get the same answer. So at least you know, oh, $95 minus $75 equal $20. 40% arrow 20. Find 1%. This 20 divided by 40. Find 100%. Then you will get the savings. And you take the saving plus the spending. You will find the number 145 as your final answer in part A. So you may write this down, maybe. So at least you know. This month is the second one, this month. This month they ask, what is the ratio of the spending to the savings? Then you need to write down the spending saved. This is 75. So to get the savings, you can take the total minus and get 70 like that. Okay. If you key into the calculator will give you simplest form. Okay, the calculator will give you simplest form. All right. Can take some time. This is another star question, or this is the popular PSLE question. Now today, Mrs. Ong go through a lot of this kind of question, or all PSLE question. Now let's take a look at question 7. A gymnastic club had 180 members last year. This year, the number of girls decreased by 30%, and the number of boys increased by 40%. There are now as many girls as boys. Is there an increase or decrease? So they ask you, is there an increase or decrease? So with that, you at least know that the number of girls, so you just write down here, for example, girls, boys. The girls decreased by 30%. It decreased by 3 out of 10. Meaning, originally, I have 10. Now, I decrease by 3 units. The 3 come from here. So, 10 minus 3 gives you 7. For the boys, it increased by 40%. So, the simplest form is 2 out of 5, increased by 2 out of 5. This also means initially the boys have 5 parts. Now increase by 2 parts. So 5 parts plus 2 parts give you 7 parts. And they did tell you, they say, actually there are as many girls as boys. After one decrease, after one increase. So if you draw a model, you will realize that the girls is left with 7 units, but initially the girls actually have 10. Then now after decreasing, it's left with 7. For the boys, initially have 5. Okay, after increasing, initially is here, then they have the same. So I'm going to tell you that the girls at the beginning have 10 units. The boys at the beginning have 5 units. So 10 plus 5 is 15. This is at first. Now they are left with 7 and 7. There is 14 units. They are left with 14 units. So initially 15 units, now become 14 units. So is there an increase or decrease in the membership this year? Decrease law, correct law, because from 15 become 14. So the answer is decrease. So they ask you, how many fewer members were there this year? So when we are asking you, compare 15 and 14, how many fewer? So you take 15 minus 14 to get 1 unit. So at least you know 15 unit is 180. Once you get 1 unit, you get the answer because 15 minus 14 gives you 1. Okay, that is for question 7. Question 7, do take a look. Do write down the steps properly. Then we move on to question 8. Question 8. A box contained red, orange, and white beads. 20% of the beads were red. The number of red increased by 5%. Okay, this 5% come from the red beads. And the total number of orange and white increased by half. There were 123 more beads now. How many beads were in the box at first? So I'm going to draw a model. They say that the box contained red, orange, and white beads. 20% of the beads were red. So by now, you know 20% is 20 out of 100, which is 1 out of 5. I am going to draw first to show you the 1 out of 5. And they do say that this is red. The rest are orange and white. So you settle line number 1. But they did tell you that they say the number of red beads increased by 5%. So when I say increase by 5%, in fraction, it means increase by 1 out of 20, meaning my red beads, I take it as my red bead is 20 units. But now it increased by 1 unit. That's what it means, like increase by 5%. Of course, you can also write 100% here, then 5% here, then you will be battling with a lot of number. Okay, now they also tell you the total of orange and white increased by half. Now you see, now I've got 4 units. How to increase by half? If I increase 2 times, it will be another 4 units, you will get 8 units. But if I say increase by half, what do I mean? Yes, 4 divided 2 is 2, meaning I increase by 2 units here. So at least you know, okay, now I know that my orange and a white will be increased by half. Let me go and take the other highlighter to show you. Give me a while. So you can see that if I increase by half, now this orange and white originally is here increased by 2 more units. Okay, so I'm not going to rush because we know that once you can get the units right, you are able to solve. So if this red portion I put 20 units, what do I put for the rest of the units, the parts? Yes, you also write 20 units, 20 units, 20 units, 20 units, 20 units for all. Okay, now they are saying that there are 123 bits now. How many bits were in the box at first? Now take note, at first is from here to here. You can see that there are 100 units. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. You must be very clear before you start solving. You see, everything is in the model. I haven't started solving. So if you count the total number of units, you will see that they say there were 123 more bits now. I nearly forgotten about this. More bits now. It means that this increase, this 1 unit, and this 20 plus 20 all add up to give you 123. So can we form an equation for this question? So we say, teacher, 20 unit plus 20 unit plus 1 unit gives me 41 unit. So 41 unit equal 123. 1 unit equal 123 divided by 41. Then now I go and find 100 unit. You will get the final answer lah. The final answer is a very nice number. If I'm not wrong, it's 300. But what matters is you know exactly, use your highlighter to help you. You look at the solution. The solution is not elegant. But there are many steps that involves thinking in between the question. All these questions that I go through is form-up question. Okay, now let's take a look at question 9. Last year, 30% of the club members were female and the rest were male. This year, the percentage of male members decreased by 20%, while the percentage of female members increased by 20%. Take note, this 20% and 20% no link. This 20% come from the male, as you take male members at 100%. But the second 20% come from the female members, that we take it as 100%. As a result, there were 48 fewer members this year than last year. How many members were there this year? They are interested in this year. How many members were there in this year? So, is there a link between the 30%, 20% and 20%? No, no link. The 30% is of the club members that are female. Okay, and the rest are male. So this one you know, this one you can take 100 minus 30%, give you 70%, and these are the male. Okay, with that, we are not in a rush to solve again, but rather I will use a mixture. I will use all three to show you. I will use ratio to show you, I will use model to show you. So if let's say you do the ratio listing, male and female, female 30%, male 70%. Can? Then they say this year the percentage of male decreased by 20%. Percentage of female increased by 20%. Now we know that 20% is 1 out of 5. You take 20%, it's 20 out of 100, 1 out of 5. So maybe we settle the male one first. If I say decrease by 20%, it means that originally my male is 5 units, but I decrease by 1 unit. In picture, it looks like that. Originally, I have 5 units, and all these are the male. Okay, this one I write down like percent, but you decrease by 1 unit. That means no more this 1 unit. Left with 4. So how many percent is that? For the other side, but the female increased by 20%, means increased by 1/5. Means originally, you have 5 units here, and this represents the 30%. Now you increase by 1, it becomes from here to here. So I draw out for you. It's the increase. But for the male, it's from here to here only. You see, it's quite confusing, so we will settle part by part. Then you can carry on and say 5 units equal 70%. Maybe I don't write the percent so that you will not be confused. You find 1 unit, then you find the number of male left, that is 56. meaning now the male number of male members is 56%. For this side, female, same thing. 30 divided by 5, which is 6. 6 unit is 6 times 6, which is 36. So the 36 I put back here for comparison. Then they say, as a result, there are 48 fewer members in this year than last year. So this is last year, last. This is this year. So never mind, you can add. You add 36 and 56 to give you a number. Then you minus away 100. Actually no need. Sorry, not minus 100. I make a mistake because this year only 92%. In terms of from 100 drop to 92, and from 100 it actually dropped to 92. So actually this 8 unit correspond 8% correspond 48. Find 1%. Find 92 because you are looking for this year. All right. So this is rather confusing, but I think if you do it part by part, you settle the male first, then you settle the female, you'll be able to solve. Yeah, correct. With that, let's move on to question 10. Question 10. Of course, if you are tired, you can pause, you go and take a break, drink some water, and come back again. Because as we proceed, this question 10, question 11 are all your 4-5 mark questions. We are not going to skip it. We are still going to learn it because it's possible that you are going to see it and you still need to solve. Okay, let's press on. Question 10. Julie, Kenneth, and Pauline had some game cards. The ratio of the number of Julie's cards to the number of Kenneth cards was 15:8. During a game, Julie lost 40% and Kenneth lost 25% of their cards. Take note now. Julie lost 40% of Julie's cards. Kenneth lost 25% of his cards, all to lose to Pauline. The number of cards Pauline had increased by 20%. Of course, because all the cards lost to Pauline, so increased by 20%. She had 96 cards in the end. The she refers to Pauline. How many game cards did Kenneth have in the end? So they are interested in Kenneth. So I'm going to repeat the story. It's not so easy to understand. So yeah, they have some game cards. So Julie has some cards. Kenneth, the ratio is 15:8. So during the game, Julie lost the cards, 40% of it. Kenneth lost his cards. All lost it to Pauline. That's why Pauline actually increased by 20%. Then she had 96 cards in the end. So by drawing for you to see, you have Julie, Kenneth. They have 15:8. This is the ratio. So during the game, this one lost 40%, meaning decreased by 2 out of 5. Kenneth also lost 25%. That means decreased by 1/4. Okay, how I get the 1/4? I punch in 25% to the calculator. 25 out of 100 is 1/4. Okay, they all lost to who? They all lost to Pauline. Okay, they all lost to Pauline. And because of that, now Pauline increased by 20%. Originally, Pauline only got 100%. Now, because she received all the cards from Kenneth, from Julie, now Pauline, the number of cards increased by 20%. And she has 96 cards in the end. Okay, that's the story. And this is the hint. So they just want to ask you, how many cards they cannot have in the end? Okay, okay. So we need to start somewhere. At least this is the easiest to start. From what I know, I slowly work backwards, okay? 120% arrow 96. 1% is 96 out of 120. Then you want to find out what is 100%. You realize that is 80. Meaning originally Pauline has 18. But she won 16 cards because 96 minus 80 give you 16. She won 16 cards in total from Kenneth and Julie. Even if you cannot solve, you solve until here, you will get method mark already. Okay, you will get method mark. So I'm going to draw a line so that we can continue to solve. All right, I rewrite the Julie and Kenneth, the 15 to 8. If let's say Julie lost 2 out of 5, meaning originally had 5 units. Julie lost 2 units, left with 3. So if I draw a model for you to see, it means that originally Julie has 5 units. And the 5 unit is 15. After she lost 2 units, she's left with 3 units. Do you know what to do? Yes, now you will just say 3 unit equal 15. Sorry, 5 unit equal 15. 1 unit is 15 divided by 5, which is 3. Then 3 unit is 3 times 3, 9. At least you know that Julie is left with 9. So, yep, this is for Julie. How about Kenneth? Kenneth actually decreased by 1/4, meaning originally Kenneth had 4 units, but Kenneth decreased by 1. So I'm going to draw the original 4 units, but lost 1, left 3. So can you imagine this one? 4 unit is 8. 1 unit is 8 divided 4, which is 2. 3 unit is 2 times 3 gives you 6. So this is what they have like in the end. So take note, from 8, how many units did Kenneth lose to become 6? 8 minus 6, which is 2. From 15, how many units did Julie lose to become 9? So 15 minus 9, which is 6. All right, with that, you know that this is what we lost. So you see, this 2 unit plus 6 unit, which is 8 units. And soon you get to see, oh, this is the number of units, total number of units they lost. Isn't this 16? This 8 unit, the actual number is 16. Yes, so you're right, 8 unit equals 16. 1 unit is 16 divided by 8, which is 2. Now they ask you, how many game cards did Kenneth have in the end? Kenneth will have 6 units. So 2 times 6, you will get final answer 12. Okay, so you write your final answer in. All right, you write your final answer in before we move on to the last question, question 11. Take a break, pause it a while, try to digest this question before we move on to question 11. Let's take a look at question 11. This is the last question of practice 2. I'm going to skip question 12. Then in my last portion, we will go through practice 3. As for challenging, we will be trying out maybe just one question from the challenging in class. So let's take a look at question 11. At a departmental store, bags were sold at $40 each. During a sale, the bags were sold at a discounted price. So quite happy. Wow, the bags sold at discounted price. Very happy. As a result, the number of bags sold increased by 60%. And the total amount of money collected increased by 44%. Okay, so is there any link between this 60% and 44%? No, there's no link. This 60% is the number of bags sold. But this 44% is the come from the total amount of money collected. Then they ask, what was the price of the bag sold during the sale? What was the percentage discount given for each bag during the sale? This is another star question, meaning possible PSL question. Okay, so take note, the original price of each bag is $40. During a sale, when you buy, the price of the bag definitely will be less than $40. All right, so we are going to find out, but this is a very telling hint. They say the number of bags sold increased by 60%. If you put into simplest form, it's 3 out of 5, meaning initially, when its usual price, the number of bags sold is 5 units. The 5 units come from here. During a sale, the number of bags increased by 3 units. So I'm going to draw out the 3 units. Okay, this is the number of bags. Number of bags. And you are quite happy with that. You say, wow, the usual, I can only buy 5 units of bags. During a sale, now I can buy, this is called 5 units of bags. This is called 8 units of bags. During a sale, because it's like, I paid less money. So I can actually sell more. Okay, so with that, we are going to find out what is 5 units times 40. 5 units times 40, you get 200. This means that let's say I really only sell 5 bags, I will get $200. Okay, so I want to find out if let's say I actually spend on 8 bags during a sale, what will happen? So what I will do is I will continue to put like 100%, arrow 200. 1%, arrow 200 divided by 100, which is 2. So I'm going to find out, because during a sale, my sales are increased by 44%, which is 144. Then I will get $208. $288. This is the amount of money collected during the sale. Meaning, the amount of money that I collected during a sale is $288. No sale, only $200. So what will happen is, if let's say during a sale, I buy 8 units of bag. How much is the bag during the sale? So you take 288 divided by 8, which is you will get $36. Oh, usual price $40. Now during a sale is $36. Okay, so you need to understand that if I tell you usual price 40, I tell you the sale price, I tell you to find what is the percentage discount. You know that there is the discount of how many dollars? 40 to 36. You don't need to pay how many dollars? You know that you don't need to pay $4. But you need to find out in terms of a fraction, if the usual price is $40, you don't need to pay $4. How much is it in terms of percentage discount? You realize that you are given 10%. So part B answer is 10% and part A answer is 36. So that is for question 11. The difficulty is this part here. How do I equate the 100% error to $100? It's because they say, the total number increased by 144%. 144%. Sorry, increased by 44%. Okay, that's all for practice 2. I will see you again for practice 3.